right, you guys, you see it here. We're starting a new franchise mode here in NHL 24. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, you guys are all probably wondering what team I'm going to do next. So there are a lot of good choices here. Now, we could go with a current contender like the Vegas Golden Knights, like the Edmonton Oilers, or the New York Rangers. We know they all have very good teams. Now, I am going to do something a little bit different here. We are starting from the ground up. We are going with the San Jose Sharks. So we do have some current pieces. We do have some established players, but we certainly don't have a team that can make it there anytime soon, right? Year number one, it is just not gonna happen. So we're gonna try to rebuild this team from the ground up. We are going to make an effort. Now, the intro here, we're going to turn owner mode off already, turning player morale off no matter what. NHL salary cap, we're going to keep on. Fog of War off, head coach edit lines off. You guys let me know if you eventually do want to see a fantasy draft mode, but we're going to stick to the San Jose Sharks right now. And we're going to rebuild them with the way that they actually are in real life right now. So I am going to modify the rules and settings to make it a little more entertaining for viewer purposes and for me playing through. So injuries are going to stay on, fantasy draft off, authentic cap penalties on, auto sign free agents off, auto save on, franchise mode length 25 years, CPU trades on, difficulty, all that staying the same, authentic, that's good with me. Salary cap on, trade difficulty medium, I don't want it to be way too easy, waivers off. So everything on this first quick settings is going to stay the same. As far as advanced setting goes, however, these are going to go to playable. Head coach is not going to edit lines anywhere. Auto rotate goalies on. Sim engine scoring medium, but the draft class quality we're turning on high and generated prospect quality on high. I want to see some more studs coming into the league and really making a name for themselves. So we're going to go ahead and start this up here. We're going to do probably not much simulation in the first video. The last thing I'm going to change is gameplay sliders. The injury occurrence, we are turning down to 15. That felt pretty decent in the Red Wings franchise mode, so I'm going to leave it at 15. I think that is probably the sweet spot for NHL franchise mode, like settings for injuries. So let's go ahead and start the career. Keep salary cap on for sure. Now, this team, we need to turn this team into a young team. This old team that we have right now just isn't working. Tomas Hertl is the guy we pretty much have to build around right now. I'm actually going to hop out of edit lines and go somewhere else. No, we don't want them helping us with lines. So what we have to look at, we're just going to assess the team in this first video. So we're going to go into proposed trade here. First thing I want to look at is bad contracts. Do we have any bad contracts we can move? Let's see. So bad contract. Yeah. Vlasic is an awful contract. I would rather just part ways and do bad in the first season than pay $7 million for the next 3 years to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. So he's going to be gone. Let's look for a team in the Eastern Conference that wants him, that has the salary cap space for him. Let's see. So we need Eastern Conference, Dallas Stars or Western, Oilers, Panthers don't have money. Let's see. There you go. Montreal Canadiens. So Montreal Canadiens, take Edward Vlasic for like a 4th rounder. Sure. I'd be good with that. They have more than 45 skaters. Can we go ahead? And obviously, like these moves, yes, I am making these moves in episode 1. We don't need them. Joel Armia, he has 2 years left. I don't really want that contract. We're looking to really just like turn this team around. Let's go bottom salary here. No trade value. I want literally like a sliver of trade value here. So somewhere in here, let's go ahead and take, just because there's potential in this guy, we're going to take Lajari. Nathan Lajari, there's some potential there. If he gets into mid 70s, he's an AHL player for us. A 4th rounder and Lajari for Vlasic. Rejected. Table is too far off, so let's go ahead. I mean, we don't really need to keep our crazy late picks, so let's just turn this 5th into a 4th. Let's see if they'll do that. There we go. So we got Vlasic. Let's go best roster there. Is there anybody else we want to offload right at the beginning, because we know we don't want their contracts? So I mean, 8 mil on Hertl isn't great, but he can be a stud for us while we rebuild our team. He can be where the young guys play around. We do have some prospects here. We have Eklund. Yeah, we have William Eklund, who we can definitely also build around. He's a playmaker. Hurdle is a sniper, so we might actually just play Eklund on the first line with Hurdle. We've also got a bunch of top 6 mediums here. We've got Bordelot, Bystedt, Haltonen, and Musty that hopefully we can get going, and Philip Zadina potentially. He's an NHL player for us. He can fill a roster spot, so that's not too bad. Logan Couture, I don't want this contract either. So what we can try to do with Logan Couture is either potentially get another draft pick or go for like some sort of depth player that we just don't need that kind of salary for, you know what I mean? So we can go with like a Garrett Hathaway, 2 years at 2.3. That's nowhere near as bad. That'll clear up a lot of cap space for us. Someone like Hathaway wouldn't be a bad option. We could probably also get a pick in there with that. So we could probably toss in like maybe a second rounder in Hathaway for Couture. I'm going to try that. Trade accepted. There we go. I know, obviously, I am making the team not competitive for this year. I am well aware. Let's go ahead and go head coach preferred. I mean, it's not like I'm putting all 75 overalls on the team either. I'm not like completely tanking the team. It's just, it's not going to be a contender year number 1. Capo Kakinen, he's on a fine deal. Mackenzie Blackwood, we actually like him as a goalie. So we should have a lot of cap space right now for potentially free agency in the next year or for trades we could eventually make. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We can go view contracts. We're going to take a look, see if we have any other really bad contracts we want to move on from. I mean, Granlund, that's only 2 years. That's not too bad. We're looking for like, yeah, well, I mean, we're not really paying anybody. Let's see. So for that year, that's all we're paying. So 25, 26. I mean, none of these guys are contracts where I'm like, that's awful. That he's got 3 years left at 3.2. I mean, we have 17 million cap space right now. So I'm not too worried about that. I mean, Granlund, we could theoretically move. Ferraro, we could probably get someone cheaper. So let's see. Granlund, potentially we could get someone cheaper. Clear up the 5 mil for free agency next year. Let's see if we can do that. We're going to go find trade. I want a roster player back, though. I don't want to completely just tank and have nothing. So let's go ahead and go Granlund, add asset, and find trade open block. Third and a fourth. Sean Corrali wouldn't be a bad option. Joel Armia, also not an awful option. So I think the Sean Corrali is where we're going to go. Let's go ahead and try to get Sean Corrali there. Let's see. So Sean Corrali for Michael Granlund. We have the same term, but we're adding 2.5 mil in cap space. And we're getting a 3rd round pick back. So I wouldn't be too upset about that. He's 30 years old, so he probably won't drop really at all. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Let's go ahead and propose that. There we go. Go to roster moves. Too few dress skaters. Okay, so let's go to edit lines, best NHL lines. Let's see what it looks like. We're obviously not going to be a great team, but we can pretty much just put Eklund, Hurdle, Duclair on that top line so that hopefully they still get a decent amount of points. We could even do Barabanov, Hurdle, and Eklund, and then put Duclair with like Ferraro and LeBanc, and hopefully that would be decent. But like you can see here, pretty much, we pretty much don't have any NHL rostered players. I mean, Ferraro, Benning. Other than that, we pretty much have 2 years on every other rostered NHL player or 1 year. So after those couple of years, we will be able to re-sign some guys. Anthony Duclair, hopefully he doesn't want much more than like 4 or 5 mil. That's what I'm really hoping for. So we could theoretically re-sign him if we want to. What kind of depth do we have in the goalie aspect? Blackwood, backup in Beaupy. I don't know how you pronounce that name. Mason Beaupy, I think, probably. I don't fucking know. Okay, well, other than that, I mean, Kakinen and Blackwood definitely are going to do it. So we're going to need a goalie for the future. But, okay, well, we're about 10 minutes in here. So realistically, I don't think there's anything else we even have to do. We're going to have to do scouting. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take care of the scouting. We're going to come back when I have everybody, when I have scouts hired that I needed or scouts assigned. So we'll be right back. All right, so we are back here. We've got up here at the regular season, I got all of our scouts sent out. I'm taking care of all of that off camera. Now, what I think I'm going to do is, because I want to get full seasons into single videos so we can get a lot deeper into these franchise modes. Any major changes I do, like free agent signings or like trades that I make or anything along those lines, those are going to be on camera, but main simulation, like game simulations, aren't going to be on camera. I think what we're going to do is every 20 games, just like the last video of the Red Wings series, I think every 20 games, we are going to go ahead and come back, do a little wrap up, show you guys how things are going. As far as like this San Jose series goes, right at the beginning, I mean, we're going to do that. I will show you guys as we come back. We can go ahead and edit the lines together. I already have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. Eklund can play left wing and Duclair can play right wing. So I think what I want to do is go like that. I think I want Eklund playing on the top line with Hertl and Duclair, get them some decent points. As far as this second line goes, 70 faceoffs on Barabanov, so he's going to play down the middle. I'm good with Zadina getting third line time. Maybe he can get some growth out of there, like an 83, 84 overall would be cool. Other than that, I'm pretty solid on how that is sitting. I want to see, I mean, just so they don't play as bad. I mean, they're still going to play bad, don't get me wrong, but not as bad. I don't want, right here, now I have 78, 78, 78, 77. Whereas right here, I still get the 80s out of these guys. Jan Ruda and Mario Ferraro obviously aren't on long or expensive deals, so I'm not too worried about them being on the team. Kakinen and Blackwood, so these are our lines set up. I want Eklund getting as much production as possible. I want him to grow pretty decently, and with a sniper on his line, hopefully they can get him some assists. Hopefully he can grow pretty decently. So that is the plan. So we're going to go ahead and get into the 20 games of simulation. I'll come back and update you guys. So we are here 20 games into the season. As you can see, we are 7, 11, and 2. Honestly, I expected it to be a lot worse, but we are at pretty much the bottom of the NHL with 16 points. Pretty much sitting where we expected. Now, the bright spot of this season so far is that Eklund is actually our team leader in points. So hopefully we can really get him going, get him growing as well. Tomas Hertl, 14 points. Luke Kunin somehow at 13. Hoffman at 13 and Anthony Duclair at 13. So there you go. Pretty much everybody is a minus player except for Sean Corrali and Jacob McDonald. But as you can see, they don't have full games played. And then your goalie stats are looking like this. Kakinen actually not having an awful year, but our goal scoring isn't great. So that is what we are looking at. We are about, like I said, 20 games in. We're tied for last in the NHL, which is what we expected. Once again, still doing the scouting and everything off camera. I am very excited to get this team back to a young spot and talented spot again. I will just update you guys because I know we did trades at the beginning of the video, but I didn't actually show you guys. So basically our prospects that we are looking at are Eklund. After that, it would be Bystedt, Bordelot, Haltonen, Cagnani. Looks like he might be able to turn into something. Musty. But after that, not really any prospects. I mean, top 6 in this guy, Havelid. But we do have 2 first-round picks, the Sharks and the Penguins. We have 3 second-round picks, 2 fourths, a 6th, and a 7th, and 2 7ths. So we do have a lot to work with here. Next year, we're also looking at already having 2 thirds, 2 fourths, 2 7ths. So it's looking pretty good for us for being able to turn over a prospect pool. So we just got to get through the hard first year, and hopefully we can go ahead and get there. With this kind of draft pool as well, with this kind of pick pool, we can also potentially go after RFAs depending on their skill level, how much they would require. So we will take a look at that, but we got to get through the season first. So I will catch you guys when we are at the halfway point in the season. So we are now here. Looks like exactly 40 games into the season. There you go. 40 games played. We're sitting at 36 points, so we're third worst in the NHL. Honestly, doing better than I thought. Our top line is actually putting up a decent amount of points. So I will go ahead and give you the stats halfway through the year. Tomas Hertl, as you can see, is leading. Thomas Hertl is leading our points at 35, but Eklund is right there at 33. He's already up to an 81, which is really nice. He's getting some in-season growth, which is good to see. And Duclair there up at 30 points. So he's not doing too bad. I'm pretty excited about him growing. As far as our goalies go, here you go. Kakkonen, both of them are over a 900 save percentage, which isn't bad. It's just our goal scoring obviously not helping them out at all. But those are your stats. We'll go ahead and actually I'll just be a little more in depth here. So you've got 4 guys above 10 goals. So it looks like we might have 4 20 goal scorers. And then our point getters, we've got 3 at 30 plus, so potentially 360 plus point getters, which is our top line, obviously. Second line ain't doing too bad, though. It looks like all 40 or 50 plus point guys, so not too bad. Zadina, I mean, looking like a 40 point guy. I don't know if he's going to get any upgrades. We'll see. Our defenseman here, I mean, our top guy is Matt Benning. Obviously, we have... Like, I think our top guy in overall is Mario Ferraro, so 82 as our top guy definitely ain't going to cut it. We already knew that going in, though. I mean, McDonald and Nijov are actually playing pretty good as a pair, but it's not really going to make a difference for this year. We're certainly not a playoff team. I'm expecting to have decent lottery chances. The one we do want to keep an eye on is where the Pittsburgh Penguins are sitting, because we also have their we also have their first round pick. So the Penguins are sitting in a wild card spot right now. Hopefully they can drop out of it with like the Hurricanes or the Devils pushing past them, maybe the Senators. But that's where we're sitting. I really don't think there's anything else that we're going to be able to do with the roster for this year. I'm not giving up Hertl. Duclair, I mean, he's on a decent salary right now, so I don't really need to give him up. And his contract also isn't that long. I think we weeded out all the bad contracts that we had, so we have our cap space. We have our contracts that will be extending that we will be extending eventually, and that we will also not be pulling forward. But I think we're set up to be pretty good for the future. We're getting our scouting all taken care of, so we're really going to transform into a young team here. I could even see Hertl being moved eventually, unless he gets like good statistical growth, which I don't think he will. I could see him being moved eventually for some sort of like top 5, top 10 pick that we can get a medium elite guy who's going to fit in with our young roster. So we'll have to look at that when we obviously get to it. But as far as how we are now, I like the transition we have towards a young roster. So let's go ahead and just get another 20. I think what we're going to do is, because we're 40 games in, we're just going to do 21 at a time now. So 61 up to 82. So I will see you guys in the next 21 games when we are about a third of the way through the season. Yeah, we'll catch you guys then. We'll do another update. So be back in a second. All right. So we are back here. 61 games played. 50 points for Hertl. We're a game behind the trade deadline right now. So almost a perfect spot to stop and look at how the team is doing. Eklund at 49 points. That's not awful, especially for a 21-year-old. Hopefully that top line can get a little more production, get him back up to near a point per game. But I mean, overall, I'm not too upset with how that top line is performing. Here are the defensemen. Really nothing special here. Really nothing we need to fully keep track of. And then our goalies, same kind of thing. Nothing we're really keeping track of. These guys aren't permanent fixtures on the team by any means. So there you go. That is 61 games into the San Jose Sharks year number 1 sim. Now, the interesting part that I did want to mention here is we are finding ourselves at 500. We're 27, 27, and 7. So whatever we're doing right now is semi-working. We're at 500. So it can't be that bad, right? So it could be going a lot worse. Now we are effectively 6 points out of a playoff spot. Let's see. Yeah, we're effectively 6 points out of a wild card spot, but we're only 3 points out of an actual playoff spot in this division. This division is really bad. Looks like the worst division by far in the NHL. Yeah, I mean, 64 points being a playoff spot, that's 8 points short of a playoff spot in any other division. The fact that 64 is third is kind of crazy. But realistically, I mean, that's pretty much all there is. Now we can go ahead and just hop into the trade deadline in this video. I don't think we're going to be making any trades. I wouldn't see any reason to. We don't need to get rid of Hurdle quite yet. He's going to be a guy for us. We're indeed a seller though. So if anyone makes us a very good offer on Hurdle, we might take it. But other than that, I mean, I don't see any reason why we would be getting rid of him. I will just show you guys one more time the contracts that we have available for moving. We did lose a game there, so we're slightly under 500, but here are our players sorted by overall. I mean, we're not moving Eklund. We want him. Hopefully he can grow to like an 87, 88 throughout this, so he can be a top line guy for us, maybe get some X factors. But Hurdle here is one of them. I mean, Hoffman, theoretically I can move him, but it's not like I need cap space this year. So moving him doesn't really effectively do us anything. Same thing with Kevin LeBanc. It doesn't effectively do us anything. Same thing with Declare. Potentially, I mean, Ferraro, but our guys that aren't on one-year deals don't have crazy contracts. Like, none of them I'm upset about. Potentially, like Corrali or Hathaway, we could easily get a guy at like 1.3 mil for these instead of 2.5. But I mean, it's the same thing of we're not going to run into cap space issues in the next year or two. So realistically, I don't see a reason to move any of those guys. It's a bunch of hassle. We're almost at 20 mil in cap space. And we are going to be clearing up a lot after this year. There's going to be like Kunin, Lindblom, Simek. All these guys aren't going to be at 2.5s. They're going to be at 1.5s. Duclair might go up a little bit, but Hoffman's going to go way down. LeBanc is going to go way down. Like, they're not going to be asking that much. So I'm going to have over 20 mil to work in free agency. My thing is, I don't want to go for anyone like 25 or older. I'm not going to bother with signing older players trying to win right now, because I don't think it's going to happen. We don't have the depth to do it. I don't think we have the prospect pool to do it. So realistically, I don't see any possible trades here. We might be making trades at the draft. But realistically, I mean, I don't see any reason to be trading any of this. I mean, the only thing I could see is maybe lump in 2 seconds to try and get an elite young player as well. So like tossing in these two, and we can try to go get someone like, let's see, medium elite. Like, we can get someone like Leo Carlson, right? Like, we could theoretically lump in 2 second rounders to get someone like Leo Carlson. But does that, I mean, we don't want a playmaker elite. We don't want Drysdale. We don't want, I mean, Minchikov would be a decent one to go get, a two-way defender at medium elite. He could definitely help us out in the future. But like Troy Terry, I mean, Zegras, he's a playmaker though. I don't think we want a playmaker. We want to stick with Eklund. We still want to stick with our guys. But I mean, we could scroll through and we could try to find guys like Gunther. We could try to move for Dylan Gunther. He's a sniper. He's that top line sniper we could use for the future at 20 years old. But then we have to move down Anthony Duclair. I mean, is it doable? 100%. Like Logan Cooley here as well, playmaker though. I mean, I don't want to try to replace him. So Logan Cooley, Gunther are options, but at the same time, like, do I want to trade our picks? We could potentially find other guys like this, or just have the flexibility of picking what we want rather than getting one guy for sure. And then maybe in free agency, we just replace someone like that anyway. So I don't think I'm going to be making any trades at the deadline. I theoretically could lump 2 seconds in for a guy like that, but do I really think it's valuable at this moment? No. We could probably do it next year if we really wanted to, but I don't think it's valuable at this moment, because we don't really have a spot to play them where they're going to be getting like decent playing time to be able to upgrade. So I'm just going to exit the deadline here. We're going to get up to the end of the season. I will come back when we get there. So let's see, to Detroit, they get another first round pick and Ibrahimov for Gostisbehere and Comfer. To St. Louis, Matt Dumba and Jay Brown and a third. To Arizona is Braden Shen. Nico Mikola, no, don't need him. All right, so I'm going to get up to the end of the season here. We're going to come back. We're going to do a season wrap up and probably do the off season at the end of this video. So I'll catch you guys in 1 second. All right, so we are back here. The regular season is indeed over. We finished with 78 points, which theoretically puts us, let's see, 1, 2 beneath us, 3, 4, 5. So we're 6th worst in the NHL. So we're probably still going to have a good pick. The Penguins also missed the playoffs. So that is actually really big for us. We're going to get 2 very decent picks here in year number 1. So I'm really excited about that. I will go ahead and do a season wrap up for you guys so you can see how the team performed. Hurdle at 65 points, definitely a down year for him. Anthony Duclair at 63. William Eklund is up to an 82 just in season, so hopefully he can be like 83, 84 at the beginning of the next season. That would be really nice to see that kind of growth out of him. Philip Zadina, no growth, 44 points, 13 goals, 31 assists. I'll show you guys the defenseman, 31 points for Mario Ferraro. Other than that, pretty lackluster from everybody. We expected that though. Goalies here, Capo Kakinen had a decent year, 910, 303, but still losing record. Same with Blackwood, pretty much around the exact same stats, around the exact same percentages. So there are your stats for the year on the San Jose Sharks. Now, we need to go ahead and get into the off season. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got a scouting thing that I do that goes up to May 15th. So I'm going to go up to May 15th here. And we are going to go ahead and finish our scouting, get into the off season. So I will catch you guys when we get to the NHL draft. So we will be back in just a second. So popping back in here, we do actually have an interesting development. The San Jose Barracuda actually swept their first round in the playoffs and won in 4 games in their second round. So we're going to go ahead and follow them. They're playing the Rockford Ice Hogs here. They now are up in the series 2-1, so they can't lose if we go up to here. They actually do win that next series, so they are into the Calder Cup finals. So let's go ahead and follow their advancements. They are playing, I'm not even sure exactly who this is, but they are in the finals. So let's go and see how they do. They're up 3-0 in the series and they sweep. So they're the Calder Cup champions, the San Jose Barracuda. So there you go. Not too bad. We went ahead and followed them. They're looking pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and get up to the draft. I will come back when we're there. All right, so playoffs are complete. The Stanley Cup champions are your Washington Capitals. So Ovi got another ring. Calder Cup champions, obviously, we saw are the San Jose Barracuda. We got the salary cap adjustments coming up there. Okay, so San Jose dropped from 6 to 7, and we have the 7th and the 11th overall pick. So depending, Vancouver might honestly even be willing to give up that first overall pick. So we will have to take a look. I will show you guys the draft class and what we are looking at. So Alexander Grabeshkov, this is the first time I'm looking at it as well. Grabeshkov is a franchise medium sniper. That might be the guy to go for. If we really want to turn this team around and we want to do it quicker, that might be the guy to go for. Grabeshkov is guaranteed. Let's go ahead and sort by potential here. So it looks like realistically we would probably get Aaron Kiviharju, which isn't a bad option. And then we could probably also get maybe Periskak. Let's see who is actually ranked number 11. So it would be, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it would be this guy, Ryder Ritchie, potentially Tij Aginla or Adam Juracek. We got a decent amount of options here. Clark Caswell, I know, also turns into medium elite. So we've got a decent amount of options. Now, obviously, the scouting isn't perfect because we started a little bit late. Usually year 1 scouting isn't perfect. But don't worry, I will have year 2 scouting be perfect. So realistically, Grabeshkov would be ideal to get. He would fit very perfectly alongside of Eklund as the players of the future that we build around. He's got 200-foot game, magic hands, and skating, as well as A+ shooting. So he's Miku Koivu. Miku Koivu. That's interesting. He's got all alone. Hopefully, with a sniper of his caliber, he would be able to get like Schneip or or like make it snappy or something like that. Get some extra shooting X factors. We got Damian Engel here, also computer generated 6'2" center. He is a two-way forward, so not an awful choice either. But I think we want to try to get Grabeshkov. He is a franchise player. We are looking for that next franchise Sharks player, kind of like Pavelski was. So we are looking for that next headliner. And if we can get Alexander Grabeshkov, that would be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into the draft. Be back in a second. All right, so we are here starting the first entry draft of our franchise mode. Now, number 8 is the only team that wants to trade for the pick. We're not going to trade down. I don't believe in trading for first overall picks from teams that don't want to trade it. I was saying on the potential that the Canucks, because they were technically 8th, and they got bumped all the way up to number 1. I was saying potentially we could go ahead and trade for it if they were willing to, because they actually have a decent squad. Now, here's the thing is, do they truly need that franchise sniper? They have Elias Pettersson, who is that guy for them. He is the guy that's going to score all the goals for them. They have Quinn Hughes. They have JT Miller. They have Kuzmenko, Hronek. They've got a bunch of great players on this squad. But they don't want to trade it away. Now, my other thing is, I think we want quantity over quality right now. We need the depth as well as the top guys, and we can get some medium elite players here. It's just not going to be year number 2 that we have those studs coming up, which to me is okay. So we're going to go ahead and sim to pick number 7. We didn't get Kiviharju, unfortunately. We didn't get Tanner Howe. We didn't get this Nichushkin guy. He has an X factor. We didn't get Berkeley Catton, Damian Engel, or Grabeshkov. Let's go ahead and look at his stats. Yeah, I mean, his shooting, he's definitely probably going to win the Calder. He's got that franchise. He's going to be up at 90 overall by the end of the year. But let's go ahead and make our pick. Enough dwelling on what we didn't get, and let's go ahead and grab what we can. So, realistically, I mean, we could drop all the way down to this Periscat guy. He's a sniper. He might still be available at number 11. I doubt it, but I think right now, I mean, we have Hurdle, who is a sniper. We can keep him for a couple more years. We can grab a sniper in a different draft. I think we need some sort of point-producing defenseman. Now, this guy might have X factors, might not, but he is an offensive defenseman. Says NHL ready, PK Subban, medium elite. Honestly, I think that is going to be a great option for us. Sam Dickinson says 1 year, whereas Matti Jokala says NHL ready. So we're going to go ahead and grab Jokala. He's 76 overall, so depending on how the team stacks up, we could play him. Probably I will go with playing him in the AHL this year. I don't want to stunt his growth by giving him a bad year. Periskak went at number 10, so we can't get him. Dickinson, yeah, I think we got the better player there. Let's see, Giordano, we definitely got the better. I mean, Giordano, he theoretically could be the same, but I'm not interested in defensive defensemen. Periskak, definitely a great player. Definitely going to turn into a good shooter, but I still like our pick there as a defenseman. Let's see what else we got here. Sort by potential. We do have this elite medium, but we can grab him later in the draft. His NHL ET has 5 years, so I don't want to take a risk on that. We could go ahead and grab Tijagindla, though. So let's go and just sort by scout rank. Tijagindla or Richie are our guys. I've never actually drafted a Ginla. He might be top 6 medium. I'm not 100% sure. We could go with Juracek, but I think I want to go with Tijagindla. Go ahead and get Jerome's son. He is medium elite, so that's really nice. We got another guy down for the AHL squad so that we can grow him. We don't really need to trade our picks. We have pretty much, I think, 3 second-round picks. Does Alexiak, I mean, how old? I think he's older, isn't he? Jamie Alexiak. I don't want, 31. I'm not going for that. I'm good without it. I want to keep our second. So let's go ahead and exit the trading there. Let's go ahead and make our pick here. So I think I want to go for guarantees. We do have this medium elite. We can grab him later in the draft. I'm not worried about that. So then after that, I think we want to go to grabbing up top 6 forward guarantees or top 4 defenseman guarantees. We don't have any top 6 forward guarantees. So we're going to go ahead and grab up this Thomas Galvis. He's got A+ competition strength, so he's already been doing it. 3 years ETA, not bad. He is 5'10", only 143, so he definitely needs to put on some weight. but hopefully that means he's a decent skater. What does it say? So mobility, skating, and foot speed. He's a decent skater. So hopefully we get some positive out of that. Thomas Galvis, 66 overall. He's got that top 4 medium, so hopefully we can get him up to like an 83, 84 for the future. We have a pick 2 picks later, so let's go ahead and grab this one. Dropping down for Schultz. I don't think Schultz is young, right? Justin Schultz, no, he's definitely not young at all. 33 years old. I don't want to drop a pick for a guy I'm not going to re-sign, so let's go ahead and just exit that. We don't need to do that. Go ahead and make our pick here. So we have Virgilio, who we can also grab, Finley. So what I'm going to do is we still have 3 minutes. I want to see our draft board. I want to see where our picks are, projected picks. So we can definitely probably grab him right here. Let's see, where is this? So yeah, that's jumping all the way up to 109, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to grab him at the end of the second round that we have our pick there. But for this pick, we don't need to grab him. We can grab someone else that's up here and a little bit different. I mean, so Matthew Virgilio, top 4 medium. I like the way that looks. Charlie Ellick, no. Cade Playfair might be the only other guy I would go for. I just don't know. We don't have him fully scouted. C- competition. He only put up 45 points. NHL ETA is 3 years, so he might be decent. But I think I want to go guaranteed with Virgilio. We're going to grab another top 4 defenseman. So let's see. Does Playfair go right here? He probably should, right? Playfair was top 9. Okay, so I made a good choice there. Go ahead and sim to pick 55. No, I don't want that. Okay, so pick 55. We want to grab that other medium elite guy. We're just trying to stack our prospect pool. So let's go ahead and grab him. Medium elite. He's only 50 overall, but we leave him in juniors and he grows in the AHL. We should be doing all right. So let's go ahead and sim to pick 110. See if we have anybody else worth grabbing up. Let's go ahead and decline that. We don't want Tyler Myers. Okay, so let's go ahead and sort by potential here. Do we have anybody? I mean, so like this guy, we theoretically could try to go for Martin Price, see if he turns out to be an elite low. We don't know for sure. We don't have anybody else guaranteed, so I'm going to go with that guy. We're going to try to get Martin Price at elite low, potentially. Okay, we did get an elite low. Nice. Okay, so he might turn into something. He's only 17 years old as well, so that's pretty encouraging. Let's go ahead and see if anything else turns up. We could try one of these goalies. We might get a starter. I'm going to go with Yakub Zhamnov. See if he's starter. He is starter medium, so we might be able to get something of the future there. Draft is going pretty good so far, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and just keep going. Sort by potential here. Byron Pitton, another potential, maybe. Fringe starter, nothing really. All right, send to pick 198. So this is our last pick in the draft. I usually like to do a gag pick, so let's go ahead and for the first pick, we're gonna pick the biggest guy in the draft, Jorge Alzner. Didn't even play on a team, just from development camp. We can also go with Nathan Aspinall at 6'6". But let's grab one of these guys who's got the weight on him as well. Bronson Ride, we can go ahead and grab. Do any of these guys have any sort of potential? Nope. Bronson Ride, we're taking you. AHL top 2. He's huge. Maybe he grows to like a 76 or something and we can use him as depth. It actually wasn't our last pick in the draft. But let's just grab Mason Haynes. That looks pretty good to me. Hopefully he's bottom 6. Yep. Okay. So maybe an NHL player. Let's go ahead and sim the entire draft. And okay, so that's a lot of draft picks there. We've got Aaron Kivi, or no, we didn't get Kivi Hardy. That was the Ducks. I don't know why it showed that as ours, but now we are in our re-sign phase. So we're fine to go there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the video here. We are going to go ahead and I will show you guys who we could grab up in our contracts. Here you go. So all expiring. We definitely have a lot. We have 45 mil in cap space. Here are the players that we have to re-sign. Zadina actually did go up to an 81. Let's see, is there any potential? So Eklund at an 84 is really nice for us. So there you go. These are our expiring players. As far as goalies, we have Kakinen expiring. We can do what we want there. But yeah, these are our expiring players. I'll give you a quick scroll through. Let me know down in the comments what you think we should do. I will go ahead and hop into the re-sign phase and free agency in the next video. Give me ideas on what you think we could do to make this team better, the direction we should go with this team. I definitely want to center it around Eklund. But yeah, we should be getting into this young, good team coming up here in the next couple of years. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.